Good evening. This is Simmion, coming to you from the outer reaches of the universe, bringing you energies to support your day and to take you further into the world of your Creator. As we look into your world once again, we have little comment apart from the fact that everything is moving beautifully. The excellence of everyone's realization of their own destiny is starting to show. And as each person reveals the small but significant unknown parts of their being, an immense difference is happening in the world. There is little that is needed at this time. But what we're going to do is provide more than is ever needed. The realistic state of magic and miracles always determines the extent to which we offer the impossible. And so when we look at your needs, we take you to another place where impossible is the subject of almost every moment of your life. As you dare the impossible, you have no needs. And as those needs disappear, the impossible becomes your natural appetite. The number of categories of impossible is, of course, impossible to think about. And so we offer you an endless number of impossible possibilities to play with to your heart's content. In the first place, all the functions of your body need to be forgotten. And of course, that's impossible. And that's why it's the first thing on the list. As you start to see how impossible it is, you will simply laugh and forget it. And with that forgetting, it will all work. Because there is no logic, you can do the impossible. So all the functions of your body and everything around it will go into what we call a super hibernated role, where it hibernates and goes into a supernova that generates enormous energies and produces a smile that you can hardly keep from your face. All these new words are impossible to understand. And how we state things is impossible for us to explain. But now we're all in a position we're in supernova mode and we've got no idea what it means. And if I try to explain it, you'd just shake your head and say, no, that's too difficult. But let me say that in that mode, your body does not connect to the old thing you used to call your mind. It actually uses every part of its own mechanism to do its own thing. And so you're left alone with a great vehicle and a personality that has nothing to connect to. And all of a sudden, you are that brilliant being that doesn't have anywhere to hide, that doesn't have a problem to hide behind, and that doesn't have a limitation to put up as an excuse. The next impossible thing is to exist without even knowing you exist. This is the greatest of all things, because it means you're so busy with the experiences that are being turned over every moment. You can't do anything else except demonstrate who you are and not even know what it is. The measuring system that you have now has just fallen over because it has nothing to compare. It doesn't have any limitations. It doesn't have any reasons. And most of all, it's living an impossible dream. Let's go a little further and take it so that you don't know even where you are in any one moment. Because where you are has so many components that it can't be defined. The stories that we will start to tell will go into so many impossible areas and produce so many very, very interesting stories that they will start to appear in your world. All the detail is held within the simplicity of how to handle the impossible. And now that we're starting to do it every day, you don't even have a description for the beautiful things like excitement, joy. So many other things are surpassed because they come from nowhere and from the land of magic and miracles. No longer the space or the world of magical miracles, but the land of magic and miracles. That is a true physical place that you all feel. That is in amongst your every moment. And it is a land that sits in the same place as where you reside now, in the future, in the past, or in any other realm. The land of magic and miracles is your home. And now you can start to see how impossible the life you have been living actually is. It's not that it's wrong, it's that you took on the impossible and you achieved it. And now it's time for you to understand from another level that the impossible continues. And the smile and the sparkle in your eyes gets bigger each time you find how really deep this impossibility is. And each time you actually stir up a moment, you feel the things that you would love to have just appear for you right now. And the more you do that, the more they will appear. There's one little catch-22. If you focus on anything, it will appear in a different format to what you think. If you don't focus on it, it could appear in the format you thought for a moment. And so the whole thing is to multitask, to do many, many impossible things, and know that it's all a work in progress. Time doesn't matter, because the moment something starts to reveal itself, all the factors of time around it disappear. It's like if you're waiting for a birthday party. The waiting is so long. But if you're really busy doing other things and it just turns up, it appears right there and then. But even if you wait so long, the moment it appears, all the waiting disappears and all the effect of it disappears. And so things aren't linear and never have been. There is no training needed to handle anything. If it doesn't fall together correctly in this moment, there is nothing wrong, it's just the wrong moment. It's like attempting to put a square stick into a round hole. You can do it, but it's not a very good fit. It doesn't really match. And you can do all that. And you'll notice that then you say, oh, well, I suppose that's okay. But if you say, well, it's the wrong moment, it's just like saying, well, it's the wrong stick. When I find the right stick, I know it'll fit in. And it might be now, it might be next year, it might be in 10 years' time. Who cares? We are here for the future. We're here for eternity. We are able to reverse time. We are able to turn it upside down, inside out, or make it disappear. These are the skills that you don't have to practice. You just have to know they're available. And it's all based on the fact that we're not going anywhere. But we are moving really fast in all directions for all sorts of reasons. And we may leave this planet. But I doubt it. On this occasion, we are being given the skills to handle the impossible. And everything you've looked at up until now has been so impossible because you couldn't get near it. As we have discussed on many occasions, you don't have to get near anything. The further you are away, the stronger you are. The less focus you have, the more effect you have. The more you celebrate and enjoy life, the more life changes to suit that world. And it is much more powerful than even an atomic bomb. Because an atomic bomb is powerful because it's located in a certain area. You are distributed throughout the universe with continuous power that never turns off, with continuous gentle power that never disturbs. And even though it's a bad example, it's like a mudslide. It just keeps happening until it's settled where it wants to be at this time. So everything you do in the world, you only have to instigate. The rest is already part of your energy field, part of your power in the world, and part of your power in the universe. But the greatest thing about the power that you have is the gentleness. And the fact that this power doesn't hurt anyone or anything. The impossible again. The simplicity of simply knowing it's true and going for it is all you have to know. The remainder is the natural part of the heritage and the elegance of the human entity. And you start from there and take it upwards. The human entity is a natural special messenger for the universe. It brings life and joy and harmony to all the things that don't have that as part of their makeup. And so you might look back and say, well, we've disturbed a lot of things. Of course, you disturb a lot of things when you grow. You disturb a lot of things when you're finding out how to do things. But you don't have to do anything about that because the growth pattern in the universe is a cycle, and it consists of many different length cycles. You can't focus on any one and say it's good or it's bad. But we can focus on where we are now and say it's really good. Forget about any comparisons and just look at it's really good now. And you'll feel the massive energy flow that comes to support your body. And it comes from you. The special being that I'm talking to that knows me from way back, that has been in and out of so many things in the universe that we've all forgotten, except when there's sudden recognition that has a character and a depth that more than takes your breath. And as we look into one another's eyes, we see, and we just nod and say, hi. Good to see you again. And have no idea where that's leading. But now you can feel that recognition flow throughout your whole world and your being and your body and everything, because that is your signature. That is the signature that will allow us all to know one another and to raise ourselves to a point where we're all totally in tune again. The next time we speak, we'll be working on bringing that attunement out of each one of us so that our own sparkle can follow us around and lead us and jump in front of us and disturb us and never leave us alone. And the dance of life begins. So as we speak each time, we'll encourage you to bring that inner spark out into the open so you can play with it and it can play with you. And you can be like little children again, in the true sense of the word. The focus on intelligence is about to disappear, because it's a training. The intellect is quite different, because you bring that from another place. You are the one who can speak of things that nobody has ever seen. And now we want to free that voice to allow each one of you to speak of things that nobody has ever heard of before, to speak of the places you've been and the places you're going, the strangest of all things you've seen, and what you know you're going to bring to the world. All these things come from your origin, come from your experience outside the physical world, but also your experience in visiting the spiritual path that was brought into this world. We've not spoken too much about spiritual, because it became an industry. But when we talk about the real spirit that has driven you out into space, onto land, into intergalactic travel, into spaceships, into lands that don't exist from where you are now, all with the same friends that you have now. All this experience is needed in the world where you reside right now. All the magic stories, all the interaction of what you used to talk about as dreams. But in your waking hours and your wakened hours, you still have those so-called dreams. So let's stretch ourselves into that impossible area and enjoy discovering what society would class as stupid. Because within all that, there is advancement in areas that have never been looked at before. Not technical areas, impossible areas, magic areas, amazing movement, where all the things that we're dealing with in the world just fall away. And they fall away and go back to the elements where they came from. This enables you to give that gift to one another of the perfect life, perfect health, and a magic future. And then you will know, beyond all things, what I mean when I say, love one another as you have never loved before. Because this is the product of all your life, presented to other people every moment of every day. We now look into the future in ways that we've never looked before. And the only way we can do that is to love one another as we've never loved before. And then we all have a future. A future beyond all imagination, beyond all technology, and beyond all impossible events. So listen to the spirit that flows in and out will open all the channels that you have available to you. So that all the special energies, all the talents, all the knowing of all the universes can be delivered to you in an instant. Thank you. And may you all celebrate and enjoy every moment to the fullest. Thank you. I'm Simmion.